Good morning, students. Welcome back again. As we were discussing chapter number 4, right? The rat trap. This is the part 3rd of this chapter. Right? Before we begin, again I'll tell you the summary, what it is. It is about an old disheartened peddler. Peddler means a person who is selling rat traps, who is begging, who is roaming here and there, who is taken and shown generosity by a young woman. Her generosity and kindness changes his bitter attitude towards life, right? He changes his attitude towards life when he is shown kindness and generosity by a woman. The peddler is a man who has fallen upon misfortune and now resorts himself to selling rat traps and theft, right? This is his life. He roams here and there, he sells the rat traps, and sometimes when he gets the opportunity, he even steals some things from whatever place he can, right? Before we begin with this 3rd part, I request the students to watch part 1 and part 2 so that you can understand the story of this chapter, right? This is a short summary of that particular peddler. If you don't know the concept, if you don't know, or if you have not watched part 1 and part 2, try to understand the summary, right? So that would be easy for you to understand the chapter, right? Take out your textbook. That is on page number 40, right? We have already discussed 2 paragraphs in page number 40. Moving towards the 3rd paragraph. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on the Christmas Eve, but now get out of here as fast as you can. This is what we saw, right? That the ironmaster, the owner of that particular mill, came to know that this is not Niels Olof, whom he was mistaken, right? He is someone else. He is a new person when he was clean-shaved and well-dressed, right? So he came to know this guy is not Niels Olof. So he told him to get out of his house as fast as he can, right? This is what we have seen in the last part of the video, that is part number 2. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that, she went and closed the door, right? At that point of time, the daughter came to know, and the daughter thought that today is in Christmas Eve, we are no one to take anyone out, right? It is the time of festival, and if someone enters your house during the time of festival, and especially on the day of the festival, you don't send them out, right? At least you request them to stay and have food with them. This is what the daughter thought, right? That as today is one of the most world famous celebration, that is the celebration of Christmas, that is 25th December, right? And it was that evening. So she said that we are no one to throw him out of the house. We want to stay inside and have food with us. This is what she thought, and that was the kindness. That was the kindness, right? See, this is the most important thing. Generosity and kindness changes his bitter attitude towards the life. Whose life? The life of a peddler. This is what kindness is. This is what generosity is. Even if she didn't know who that guy was, right, she still told that let him not go out of the house. Let him stay in and have food with us. Right? If someone does something bad to you, right, and if we respond in a positive manner, if we reply them with kindness and generosity, right, that person does not, do something harm or do any negative thing to you for the second time, right? He'll feel ashamed that I'm doing something extremely wrong, and he is replying with the kind of generosity and kindness. So he would feel ashamed from inside by doing certain things which are wrong, right? This is how you have to live in this world. This is what generosity and kindness is, and that actually changes the life of the peddler. That changes the life of the peddler, right? Moving towards the next paragraph. What in the world are you doing? Said the father, right? The father was still confused. What are you doing? We don't know that guy. Please let him go out of the house. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. That morning she had felt so happy when she thought how homelike and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She could not get away from the idea all at once, and that was why she had interceded for the vagabond, right? She was very happy. It was the Christmas day, it was the Christmas Eve that they were going to celebrate, and suddenly she was thinking of all the happy moments. She was thinking of making all the new things, all the new food items, and suddenly there is a misfortune, there is a clarity of concepts that this is not Niels Olof, he has to be sent off of the house, and she could not digest all these things. Right? She was very happy. She was happy to make and cook each and everything for his father, for himself, and for that poor fellow. And suddenly that guy is thrown out of the house. That was not accepted by that girl, right? Why it was not accepted? Because she was happy, as it was the celebration of Christmas. That was the problem, that the girl didn't allow that boy or that guy to go out of the house. She stood still over there, right? She was not able to speak anything directly to his father. This was the situation going on right now. The peddler is listening all these things. I am thinking of this stranger here, said the young girl. See, I am thinking of this stranger over here, said the girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there is probably not a single place in the whole country where he is welcome and can feel at home. Wherever he turns, he is chased away. Always he is afraid of being arrested and cross-examined. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here. Just one in the whole year. This is what the girl replied to his father. Look at his life. He is a peddler, he is a poor guy, he roams here and there, he is almost rejected by everyone, and wherever he goes to stay, wherever he finds food, he is rejected by everyone during the whole year. At least let him enjoy for this day. This is what the girl talks to his father. Look at his life is full of hardships, his life is full of struggles. That is the condition that this guy is facing throughout the whole year. And can't we bring him back for just one day, that is today? Can't he have peace in his life for the one day? I want to bring him back again. I want him to stay with us, have food with us, and enjoy his life for at least one day in a year. Right? The life of the peddler is very struggling. See, it is recently written over here. You know, he resorts himself, that is, he manages himself by selling rat traps. Now, you just sell a rat trap and you get 5 to 10 rupees per day. Can you survive in that thing? 5 to 10 rupees? It is very difficult. Right? That is the life of the peddler. And he told each and every truth to his father, that I am not Neil Soloff, I am a peddler. You have mistaken me, you have welcomed me, but I am ready to go out of the house. And he actually is going. And this is what the daughter is thinking. All this picture is going in his mind. Bring him back, at least let him have peace for one day. Right? She directly talks to his father. Let him enjoy on the day of festival. We are no one to send him out on the day of the festival. At least enjoy. At least let him be free for one day. Let his life have peace for one day. That is what the daughter says to his father. Right? Now what does the ironmaster reply? The ironmaster mumbled something in his beard. He could not bring himself to oppose her. See, his father could not oppose his daughter. You know, there is a strong connection always between a father and a daughter. Right? When his daughter said, bring that boy, bring that guy again, that poor French fellow again, right? His father couldn't refuse it. He couldn't speak anything to his daughter. Right? It was all a mistake, of course. She continued, but anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised the Christmas cheer. We were the actual ones, who brought him from the iron mill to the house. Right? He didn't want it to come to our house. He even rejected for twice or thrice. Right? And we forced him to come into our house and stay and enjoy the Christmas Eve. And now when we suddenly know that this guy is not Neil Soloff, we are sending him how? This is something very wrong. This is something very wrong. It was not his mistake. He never forced us to come and stay with us in our house. Right? We were there. That means the daughter and the father. We forced him to come to our house. This is something extremely wrong that we are doing. We should not do like this. And that is what the daughter replies to his father. You do preach worse than a parson, said the ironmaster. I only hope you have to regret this. Right? The father says, your preaching is good, but I hope you have to regret this. That means his father from inside still doesn't want that guy to come again to the house. And he says that I hope you regret it. Regret it means that I hope at the end you will understand as a father what I say. And you will regret that bringing that guy back again into the house was something very wrong. This is what you will understand when you will bring him back again. That I brought that boy again into the house, that is something very wrong I did at the end. That is what the father is talking to his daughter. That you are going to regret by bringing him back again. You are making a mistake by bringing him back again. This is what the father says. He directly doesn't say no. See, there is a strong bonding between father and daughter. He directly doesn't say no to his daughter, but says that bringing him back again, you will regret yourself. You will understand that it was my mistake that I brought him again back to my home. This is what the father is saying to his daughter. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. The man with the red trap said not a word. That girl, right? That girl holded the hand of that peddler, brought him back in, right? And she told him to sit on the table and have food with us. This is what the girl did. And the peddler was very silent. He was not speaking a single word. Sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in. That was an indirect permission given by his father. The man with the rat traps said not a word, right? He was very silent. The peddler was very silent. He only sat down and helped himself to the food. As he was hungry, he didn't have anything to eat, right? He was just good looking right now, but he was very hungry from inside. He didn't have any food till now. He was roaming from the highway to the jungle and from jungle to the house, right? He had not eaten any kind of food. So he didn't say any word, but he focused on the food as he was very hungry. Time after time, he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him. Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? Now the peddler is thinking, why the girl is so interested in bringing me back again? Does she know that I have 30 rupees in my pocket, 30 kronos in my pocket? That peddler is still thinking of that 30 rupees. What is the crazy idea of bringing me back again? They don't know me, I don't know them. Still that girl is forcing me to have dinner with us. Why? Is there any plan inside the head of that girl? Does that girl wants to steal 30 rupees from my pocket? This is what the peddler is thinking. Right? What happens next? Now we are moving towards the climax of the chapter. After that Christmas Eve at Ramso passed just as always had. The stranger did not cause any trouble. Who is the stranger? The peddler. The peddler did not cause any trouble, because he did nothing but sleep. After when he had his food, he just went and slept. He did no kinds of trouble. He went into the room and slept over there. The whole forenoon, that means the whole afternoon, he lay on the sofa. He was laying on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stretch. Right? He was sleeping on one stretch. That is, for example, let us say he started sleeping at 2 and he went till 6 in the evening. Continuous sleep. Right? That is once at the stretch. At noon they woke him up so that he could have a share of the good Christmas fare. But after that he slept again. It seemed as though for many years he has not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at Ramso. Right? He didn't have this kind of sleep since many years. He didn't have a proper house. He didn't have a proper place to stay in. He didn't have a proper place to rest himself. This was the best place in this world for the peddler to sleep in that house. With full safety, with full security, with all the kinds of proper clothes, proper dressing, proper food. Right? He was so exhausted, he was so tired that even after he got his food again for the second time, he slept again. Imagine a beggar, you invite him to your house, you give him full food, right? You give him a certain kind of space, right? So obviously he's going to feel good. Obviously he's going to sleep well. This was the condition of the peddler. He slept again. He was very tired. He was very exhausted. And he thought, this is the best place in this world with full of safety and security, so I should sleep back again. That was the condition of his life. Right? In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lightened, there was one Christmas tree, right? And it was full of decorations. They woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. But after that, he disappeared again. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more. He then had gone down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge, right? He went again, he woke up when he saw the Christmas tree, right? He was not able to see all the kinds of the lights because his eyes were very tired even in the evening, right? He again went down, he saw the food, again he ate the food. You can imagine the kind of hungerness that he had. Right? He was continuously eating and then sleeping, eating and then sleeping. That means his life was very tired. His life was full of hardships. He just wanted peace in his life. That was the thing. Right? As soon as they got him from the table, he went around to each one present and say thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which he wore was to be a Christmas present. Right? During the Christmas time, right, especially the Christian people give gifts to each other, right? It increases love and understanding and creates a huge bonding between two people, right? When you share gifts with each other. And this is what the Christian people do during the Christmas times. They share gifts with each other, right? And the suit that he was wearing, whose was the suit? Who was it is? It was the suit of the ironmaster. It was the suit of the ironmaster, the owner of the ironmaster. That iron mill, right? It was the suit of his father. And that was given as a present to that boy, to that peddler, as a gift. As a gift. He said thank you to each and every one. Right? Now he is directly talking to that generous girl, to that girl, that means the daughter of that ironmaster. Now he is talking face to face. What does he talk? Let us look into the textbook again. He did not have to return it, and he wanted to spend the next Christmas Eve in the place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him. He would be welcome back again. This is what the daughter talks to that boy, to that guy, right? That if you still feel good over here, you can still stay over here. We won't force you to get out of the house. This is kindness and generosity. You don't know that person, right? You still allow him to stay in your house. You give all the kind of good clothes, you give all the kind of food that you prepare for yourself, you share each and everything. You share your house, you share your food, you share your clothes with that boy whom you doesn't know. Right? This is generosity and kindness. But who he was actually? He was a rat trapper and he used to steal something when he got the chance. That was the characteristics of that peddler. And this is an extreme kindness and generosity shown to that peddler. You see the difference between two people. On one side, a person with full of negativity, and on the other side, right, a girl with full of positivity, kind attitude and generous attitude. That changes that negative person into a positive one. How it changes, we'll look into the last few paragraphs. The man with the rat traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl. He was looking at the young girl. He was looking at the young girl means he was looking at the kind of generosity and trust being shown towards him. Right? As he didn't have anything to give in return. Right? Gifts are being exchanged during the Christmas functions, during the Christmas Eves. So someone gives you the gift, you give them something back. This is what the Christmas is all about. Sharing love, sharing gifts, sharing joy with each other. Right? At that point of time, the peddler didn't have anything to give it back except that 30 rupees. But if he gives that 30 rupees, what happens? He will have nothing in his pocket. So he actually didn't wanted to give anything. He actually didn't had to give anything in return gift to that girl and to his father. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up in a season to go to the early Christmas services. That means they went to the church in the early morning. Their guest was still asleep and they did not disturb him. When at about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. At church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks has been robbed by a man who went around selling the rat traps. She was disappointed. Who was disappointed? That girl. Why he was disappointed? Because when that girl and his father went to the church, as it was the Christmas function, right? It was the day of the Christmas. As they went to the Christmas church to celebrate in that church, there was one announcement in the church that one of the person who was robbed, right? That person is selling rat traps. That person is selling rat traps. And that was an announcement, general announcement made in the church. And that girl came to know that the guy who is in my house is selling rat traps. And he is the one who has stolen the money. And that is why the girl was disappointed. That is why the girl was disappointed. She remembers the words of his father that you will be disappointed at the end of the day if you bring that guy again to the house. And that happened. That happened. Right? She was very disappointed as she came to know that there is a theft that I have given place in my house, who is selling rat traps and stealing money whenever he gets the chances. And that guy was alone in his house. Both the people, that is his father and daughter, went to the church to celebrate the Christmas function. And that guy was sleeping alone in the house. Look at the faith and the trust that the father and daughter put on that guy whom they didn't knew. Right? That guy was sleeping in the house all alone with the keys in his hand. If he got the chance, he can steal anything from the house of the owner of the iron mill. But what does that guy do? What does that peddler do? Let us look into the textbook. Yes, that was a fine yellow you let into the house, said the father. That is the words of his father. I told you, don't bring him back again to the house. You will be disappointed. I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. His father is talking. There were some silver spoons in the cupboards. I only wonder now how many are left. What does that mean? That whenever he sees that silver spoons in the cupboard, he is going to take it, put it in his pocket and run away from that place. So I only wonder when we go back to the home, I don't know how many silver spoons will be there in our house. This is what the father is talking to his daughter. The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when the ironmaster asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. He added that he had heard at church that the man was a thief. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Williamson was to be kind enough to accept it as a Christmas present. The young girl opened the package, which was so badly done up with the contents came into the view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap, and in it lay 30 wrinkled 10-kroner notes. But that was not at all. In the rat trap lay also a letter written in large jagged characters. There was something very strange that happened at the end of the story. They thought that, who? His father and daughter, that when we'll go to the house, the peddler will not be there, and he might have stolen each and everything, right? Whatever was there in the house, and he might have ran away. This is what the thoughts of that father and daughter were. When they reached home, the peddler was not there. But the strange thing was, he did not steal anything. He did not steal anything. Rather than stealing, he put a small gift in return, right? As I have said, he didn't have anything to give it back, right? But as he heard that there was one announcement in the church was very close to the house, right? So even that peddler heard that there is a person who has stolen, and who is that person? Who is selling the rat trap. So he came to know that I am a thief. So he couldn't show his face to that girl and his father. So what did he do? He ran away from that place. But he did not steal anything. Rather than stealing, he kept a small rat trap, and inside a small rat trap there were 30 kronos, that means 30 rupees inside that rat trap, with a letter to Miss Williamson. With a letter to Miss Williamson. And the girl was very happy and cried with joy. Why she cried with joy? Because she had shown generosity and kindness. See, these are the two most important characteristics in life. Because of her attitude, that is generosity and kindness, changes the life of, or changes the attitude towards the life. That attitude, that negative attitude of peddler was turned into a positive attitude. He left that 30 rupees in the house and went from the house. Right? This is what kindness and generosity can do. If he wished, he could steal that silver spoon from the house and again go back to some other place, right? If he had a full chance to steal anything, whatever he can, he was alone in the house. But he did not steal anything. Rather than stealing, he kept that 30 rupees in a small rat trap. And there was even one letter. There was even one letter inside it. What is it? Please go to the last paragraph of the chapter. Honored and noble miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was captain, I wanted to be nice to you in return. I also wanted to be nice to you in return, right? The girl was very kind, generous. She gave each and everything what the peddler wanted, right? At proper point of time. So the peddler even wrote in the letter that even I wanted to be nice to you. For I don't want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a theft. Now you know that I am a theft. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to hurt you. That you have put a lot of faith in me. I don't want you to hurt you in return during the Christmas celebration. Right? This is what he has written in the letter. But you can give back the money to the old man. You can give back the money to the old man. Right? On the roadside, who has the money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for the poor wanderers. Right? He had returned each and everything where he had stolen the money and where you need to give it back. Right? The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap. He have not been raised to a captain. See, this is what he writes, the most important lines. The rat trap is a Christmas present. That rat trap, small rat trap, was a Christmas present from a rat. From a rat. Who is a rat over here? The peddler himself. Who would have been caught into the world's rat trap if he had not been raised to a captain. If he has not been taken care. He had never seen any kind of kindness and generosity in his entire life. And when that girl showed kindness and generosity towards that particular rat trapper, it changes his attitude. And that is what he mentions in this letter. That I have never been, given so respect like this in my entire life. and just you gave me all this respect, you gave me all the things that I wanted, right? I am favoring a gift to you in return, right? Thank you for giving me such kind of respect, love and kindness and all the generosity. It changed my life. It changed my life. This is what the peddler has written in the letter. Because in that way, he got the power to clear himself. He got the power to clear himself. To clear himself means, he did something wrong. So he got the chance to do something good, to give back 30 rupees where he has stolen from. And where did all this kindness and goodness came from? It came from the young woman. It came from the young woman. Thank you for showing me kindness, what kindness is. Thank you for showing me what trust is. Thank you for showing me what loyalty is. Thank you for showing me what generosity is. This is what that particular peddler thought in his mind, and that changed his life. That changed his life. These are the most important letters or sentences that were written in that particular letter. Right? Look at the last lines. Written with friendship and high regard, Captain von Stahel. Captain von Stahel. Captain means to the extreme level, right? The topmost respect given to a captain. We all know that India plays cricket and the most important player in the team is the captain, right? He manages each and everything. He has been given the utmost respect in the team, right? So that is what he writes. Thank you for giving me all the respect as a captain, right? I'm repeating that lines again. Written with friendship. This letter was written with a kind of friendship and high regard. That means a high respect towards that girl. Captain von Stahel. That means your Captain von Stahel. Yours, Captain von Stahel, means the respect that you gave to me as a captain. Thank you so much for letting me in. Thank you so much for showing all the love, kind and generosity. Thank you so much for changing my life. This is what the last letter or the last sentences that were written in the letter by the peddler. By the peddler. Right? This is what life is. Selma Lagerlof, right? This lady. She has written many books, but the ultimate message at the end of the story is generosity and kindness that changes the life of the person. And this is what we have seen in this chapter, that a particular person who is selling a rat trap, who steals everything when he gets the chances, changed his life. How he changed his life? When someone like a young woman in this story shows generosity, kindness, affection, love, care, all the things that he wanted, all the things that he required as a human, that changed his life, that changed his attitude. And what happens in the climax? He tells each and everything, where he had stolen the money, which place it was, what was the name, what was the old man, where the money had to be placed on that window. Each and everything he tells the truth. And he tries to clean himself from this activity that has been ongoing throughout his entire life. Now he is looking the life in a different way. This is a very positive message in our life. There might be many hardships, there might be many things which doesn't favor us. There might be many people who does something wrong to us. There might be many people who might be pulling back to us. They cannot see, right, if we grow, if we move ahead from them. So what they'll do, they'll try to pull us back. Don't give response to them. Be positive, be kind and be generous. That is what the entire message is, and that would change the opposite person. Right? This is the message of this chapter. I hope this chapter is clear. It made the story interesting, right? I refer and I request the students to refer the textbook again rather than the other materials. And if you are still not clear, read the chapter once, read the chapter twice, and if you are still not clear, you can read this summary so that the whole chapter would be clear. right? Please make a note of it. Thank you.